Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lindsay Urban, Director of the Arts Institute of Middlesex County. Welcome to Art and Story Time. Today and for the rest of the month, we're going to be celebrating Middlesex County history. We are joined today by our friends at the Civic League of Greater New Brunswick. Please set your screens to speaker view. We are recording this session, and if you wish to remain anonymous, please keep your camera off. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Sean Hewitt, the Director of Youth Leadership at the Civic League of Greater New Brunswick. And Mr. Sean Hewitt will be introducing a very special guest reader who we have on today. And I can't wait for you guys to meet him and all the other presenters that we have today. So this is a really special, session today, and we're really excited for everybody to be here. And that's it. Have fun.
Thank you, Miss Lindsay. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing on this very warm afternoon? Wonderful, wonderful. So, again, my name is Sean Hewitt, Director of Youth Leadership here at the Civic League of Greater New Brunswick, and we're happy to be partnering with the Art Institute of Middlesex County to facilitate art and story time and bring this to you over the past couple of months. This one, as Miss Lindsay said, is particularly special because we are going to be talking about an iconic figure, Paul Robeson. And the Civic League of Greater New Brunswick, it's an over 75-year-old organization dedicated to civil rights and community development in the Greater Brunswick community. And we, as will be explained to you by our CEO and president, Paul Robeson helped us get started back in 1945. He did a benefit concert that raised a little over $13,000 to get a charter for the then Urban League. And so while 1945 seems like a very long time ago, his kickoff helped us to get things started. And we've done a number of things in his memory since then. How many of you know who Paul Robeson is? Okay, so this is going to be super exciting because we get to learn about somebody that was from Jersey, was born and raised in Somerville, went to school at Rutgers University, and is just, again, a global iconic figure. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. C. Roy Epps, who's President and CEO of the Civic League of Greater New Brunswick. He'll have some information to share with you, and he'll be going right into his reading of Grandpa Stops a War by Susan Robeson, Paul Robeson's granddaughter.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to take a few minutes before I start the reading to kind of give you some background on Paul Robeson. I've been, privileged to be able to have met Mr. Robeson prior to his leaving us. Actually, it was in the fall of 1978. Right before he passed away, that he came to Rutgers to be part of a dedication of a room in the student center on College Avenue.
Oh, cool.
So I had personally had a encounter with him. I can testify that he was by far a very large person. It was in the fall, so it was still kind of cold outside, and he had big, large beanie on. These are large overcoats for those who don't know. Very warm, giant of a person. And those of us who had the privilege of knowing him have been blessed by knowing him as the individual that he was. The Urban League, later the Civic League, had develop a number of activities which celebrated his involvement. The first one was his involvement in 1944 when he did a benefit concert for then the Urban League Council. As a result of that concert, which was held at Douglas campus, um, the league was able to raise enough money so that they could, in fact, become affiliate of the National Urban League. Fast forward in 1976, um, we were able to put together a what we call a benefit or recognition of Paul Robeson, and that was to raise money for the Paul Robeson basketball tournament, which we held the summers of 1978, 79, and I think even into 80. And this trophy was a trophy that symbolized what we were doing, and there were at least 3 teams that we were able to celebrate. Also, during our those 3 years before I went away on a tour of in Boston, fellowship in Boston, we were able to present plaques to the individuals who were listed. And each year there was Nancy Wilson, singer, performer. The second one was, well, I won't go right through all of them, but every year we did one, and that raised money, as I said, for the basketball tournament. We were very proud to be part of the process, most recently in the naming of or renaming Commercial Avenue as Paul Robeson Boulevard. And at this point, we're working on a sculpture, with the city of Paul Robeson, which will be housed and erected and housed at Feaster Park, which is currently Feaster Park, which is going to be redone. So with that, let me go into the reading, which is the book that many of you may have the opportunity to read, but this is a reading program. As by the book is authored by his granddaughter, Susan Robeson. And it reads, Daddy always said it takes a man of peace to stop a war. That's is just what Grandpa Paul did. He stopped a war. When I was a little girl, I always asked my father to tell me this story. Grandpa stopped a war, Daddy, he would say. But Daddy, how could he do that? He's not a general or a president. He's a singer. Grandpa Paul was very tall and very handsome. His deep voice rumbled like thunder, but he never frightened people because he was so kind. Grandpa was a gentle giant, and children loved him because he always had time to play. Grandpa was a movie star, too, but more rich and famous he became, the more he thought about other people. He wasn't happy just because he had lots of money. He wanted to help make life better for everyone, not just himself. While Grandpa Paul was living in London, war broke out in the nearby country called Spain. Generals in Spain army had taken over the government and started a war. Many children in Spain didn't have enough food to eat or clothes to keep them warm. Many families were homeless because bombs were destroying their villages and cities. Grandpa Paul decided to help, and so he sang. Are you with me? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, okay? Thousands of people came to his concerts in London. They brought money and food and clothes to send to children in Spain. Grandpa felt
You computer.
sent everything to them. But the war in Spain continued and got worse. More and more children and their families were suffering. We still on page? Okay, let's move along. Grandpa Paul decided to go to Spain. He didn't know what he would do or how he would help. He just knew that he had to do more. Grandpa Paul's friends and family got very upset. It's too dangerous, Nana told him. By the way, Nana is his wife. Stay in London where it's safe. You can do plenty from here, but I need to do more, Grandpa Paul said. Why risk your life? His friends asked. You're not Spanish, because wherever there's people to suffer, Paul said, and each of us must do our part to bring peace into the world. But you're only a singer. What can you do? They replied. I don't know, Grandpa Paul said, but I know I must go. If you're going, Nana said, I'm going too. So Grandpa and Nana went to Spain. The first night in Madrid, by the way, Madrid is the capital of Spain, the city was bombed. The windows of their hotel shattered. The whole building shook. There was no lights, and everyone huddled together while planes flew overhead dropping bombs. Then someone said, let's sing. And as everyone sang, their fears melted away. That gave Grandpa Paul an idea. He asked his Spanish friends to take him to the front lines of the war where the big battles taking place. Well, that's too dangerous, they all said at once. Grandpa insisted. Grandpa's friends, Captain Fernando, drove him to Teruel, where the fighting was fierce. They drove through the hills and the valleys of the countryside, past miles of olive trees and through groves of Valencia oranges that looked like little suns against the sad landscape. As Captain Fernando and Grandpa neared the front lines of Teruel, the gunfire was loud and they couldn't hear each other talk. They passed a large crater in the road where the bomb had just fallen. Captain Fernando looked over to see if Grandpa Paul was afraid to go on. Keep driving, Grandpa Paul said. I want to sing my songs. Captain Fernando was surprised. In the middle of a war? Yes, said Grandpa Paul. I especially want to sing where men are fighting. Maybe my songs will give them hope for a peaceful world. It was cold that afternoon in 1938 when Grandpa Paul arrived in Terrell. The men fighting to save Spanish Republic were discouraged and were hungry. They were cold and many were injured. When the men saw Grandpa Paul, their spirits lifted. They couldn't believe he had traveled so far through so much danger to be with them. They said, "Please sing for us," they shouted. With joy, they moved on with song. They didn't care what war was all around them. They just wanted to hear Grandpa Paul sing. The men gathered around Grandpa Paul. He asked them to turn the loudspeakers to face both sides of the battlefield, so that soldiers on the other side could hear. Then he sang more beautifully, with more feeling than ever before. He sang for the children who were suffering. He sang for his father who had suffered until he escaped from freedom. He sang for all the people who had died in the war. The battlefield grew silent. No shots were fired. No bombs fell. There was just Grandpa's rumbling voice singing African American spirituals and songs of peace and love and freedom. While Grandpa Paul sang, there was peace.
Thank you so much. I want to give it back to Sean to see if there's anything else that you want to say um, about Paul Robeson and the Civic League. If you have anything to wrap up before we hand it over to Jasmine, the activity.
Thank you. So I just want to emphasize, and I understand that some folks had some audio issues.
Oh,
Sorry about that, but I just want to emphasize that the work that we at the Civic League do is really on the back of and inspired by the works of Paul Robeson and others. And as Dr. Epps mentioned, as he's been president and CEO of the organization for 54 of its 76 years of existence. And he's had the pleasure of meeting Paul Robeson, and it really dedicated a lot of his work to ensuring that people understood the significance of Paul Robeson's contributions, not only in New Brunswick as a student athlete, but also as a civil rights leader around the world. So going forward, what I'd like for you to do is just, Google Paul Robeson. Find out who he is, find out what he did. And if you have a chance, we've changed Commercial Avenue to Paul Robeson Boulevard. There'll be a Paul Robeson statue in Feaster Park in the coming years. There's a Paul Robeson Plaza on Seminary Place in College Avenue at Rutgers University. And there's a Paul Robeson Cultural Center on Bush Campus at Rutgers. So check all that stuff out. It's great information. And again, thank you so much. And thank Dr. Epps for doing an excellent job reading. So I'll pass it back over to Sarah.
thank you. Thank you so much, Sean, and thank you, Dr. Epps, for always saying yes and for being a part of Art and Story Time. We can't do this without you, the both of you, so, and all of your students. So now I would love to introduce Jasmine to the activity for today. We will be doing a singing activity. So I'm going to pass it over to Jasmine, and please, Jasmine, introduce yourself and who you are and what you do, and then you can go right into your presentation.
Awesome. So yeah, Maya, do you have a question? I saw that you had your hand raised.
I don't have my hand raised, but I just wanted to say,
Maya, we can't hear you.
It's like very low.
no.
It's still pretty low. Do you want to type your question in the chat?
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
Okay. Maya, write your question in the chat. And yeah, Jasmine, if you want to start. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we can answer them. All right, Jasmine.
All right, so hi guys, my name is Jasmine. I go to Carteret High School and I'm the vice president of the Carteret Choirs. So in honor of choir and music and Paul Robeson, we're gonna be doing a little activity focusing around singing today. So I hope you guys are excited. And yeah, let me just present my screen. So I'll be teaching you guys how to sing, tips and tricks. If you have any comments or questions during the presentation, just drop them in the chat. Let me share my sound. All right. So let's begin. Like I said before, I'm Jasmine Longomas. I'm the vice president of the Carteret Choirs, and I'm an alto. So before we start singing, we must ask the question, what is singing? So singing is the process of using your voice to produce musical sounds. In other words, singing is using your mouth to make music, just like guitars, flutes, and trumpets. We can use our voice to make beautiful sounds. Is anyone on this call a singer?
I like to sing, and I have singing classes, and I want to be a singer when I grow up.
Wow, that's awesome. Love to have some representation. All right, let's go to the next one. So now that we know what singing is, let's start off with the basics of singing. So did you know that 97% of all people can sing? You might be wondering, what about the other 3%? Well, the other 3% of people who can't sing have a disorder where they can't hear rhythm, tones, and pitches. And basically they can't like hear the difference of like talking and like music. So I'm pretty sure everyone on this call can sing. I don't know if you tried singing before, but yes, you can sing. It just takes practice. So it's simple. In order to sing, you must control your breathing. So you can't be singing like, I want to love you. And you see why you can't sing like that? It's almost, think of singing as talking, but with different pitches. So when you sing, you can't take a breath between each individual note. Just like how you're talking, I wouldn't be talking like in order to sing. Do you guys get what I mean? But yeah, you must control your breathing. Then you also have to shape your mouth properly. And when you shape your mouth while you're singing, you can create different sounds. So if I sing saying ah, or ooh, or ee, or ba, you see, they all make different sounds. So, and it's the same thing almost for talking. Like when you talk, you have to shape your mouth a specific way in order to make a certain sound. So you have to think about that when you're singing. Then, most importantly, you just have to have. Oh, Antonio, do you want to say something?
No, sorry, I went mute.
That's okay. But yeah, the most important thing is you want to have confidence. You can't be singing in the corner like if you sing loud. If you make mistakes, you know what, that's fine. Everyone makes mistakes, and if you make mistakes, that's the only way that you're gonna learn. So when you sing, have confidence. If you have family at home, I don't think they'll mind a little bit of you guys singing today. So let's go into the next one. Now that you have an idea of what singing is, we can try a vocal exercise. Wait, exercise? Isn't that only for your body? Well, in fact, just like your body, your voice needs to warm up. By doing so, you clear your throat of all like the boogers and extra spit, and you relax the muscles in your throat that you use for singing. This also prevents you from hurting your vocal cords. There's been stories that people who don't warm up their voice properly, they can lose it or permanently damage it. So whenever you sing, you always want to warm up your voice to prevent any damage from happening, and so you can sing forever and annoy your friends and family. Or, sing beautifully for their ears. But a lot of the time, I like to annoy my siblings by singing. So let's check out some exercises. So for this exercise, I want you guys to repeat after me. This exercise will help you control your breathing and prepare your voice for singing. So I want you guys to sit up nice and tall, and I want you to repeat after me. So I go first, and then you go after me. Alrighty? So this is the first one we're gonna do. Ha, 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 ha. Now you go. Ha,
ha, ha, ha, ha, ha.
Awesome. Next one. Ch, 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 ch. You go. Next one. He. You go.
He.
Next one. K. Next one.
Good. Let's go. Right.
And now the last one. Ho, 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 ho. Awesome. Now you guys can laugh like evil villains and ho ho like Santa Claus. Well, I really wanted you guys to work out your throat and get your breathing so you kind of know where we're going to start off. So I hope you guys like the next exercise, and now we're going to move on to our next one. So this one, it looks hard. If you don't know how to read music, this might look like a bunch of words and symbols that you might not understand, but I'm going to explain it. So if you look at the bottom, we have the singing vowels that we're going to sing on. So we're going to sing the example on ah and then oo. Then over here, we have what's called a metronome, and this is going to help us make sure that we do not rush when we're singing. So I'm going to play the starting note, and I'm going to sing it for you guys, kind of like how I did the first time. I'll sing, and then we can sing together, and then you guys can try by yourselves. So let me play the starting note for you guys. So our starting note is an F. Oh, give me 1 second. So we're going to go on ah first. So we go ah. Actually, give me 1 second. I don't think I sang that right. Sorry. So it goes. Okay. Sorry. So we're gonna sing it. And put the metronome so you can hear how it sounds with the metronome. Okay, now try together. So I'll count you guys off. So 1, 2, ready, go. Do you guys think you did good? Perfect. All right, now let's try it on oo. So same notes, just different vowels and different ways that we're gonna shape our mouth. So I'll sing it by myself first, and then we can sing it together. So 1, 2, ready, go. All right, you guys want to try it together? All right, I'll count us off. So go. 1, 2, ready, go. Did you guys like that? Think you did good? Oh, Maya, do you have a question? Oh, that's okay.
I just forgot to lower my hand.
That's fine. I do that a lot of the time. All right. So now that we did that exercise, I don't want to play this more. All right. How do you guys think you did? Any thoughts? Gia, you think you did good? Love to hear that. Anyone else think they did good? Anybody want to unmute and share? Or if not, we can move on.
I think I did it good.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think it's always fun to like warm up your voice. Like it feels good. You know?
Like I am in singing class, I always warm up.
Mhm.
And we not just warm up our voices, we warm up our bodies.
Mhm.
Yes, I love stretching before I sing. It makes me feel so much more comfortable. I like stretching whenever I do anything, to be honest. You know, cracking your bones, relaxing your muscles is always comforting. All right, so let's move on to the. Do you have something to add?
Just say yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So if you messed up, that's perfectly fine. Not everyone starts off an amazing singer. Trust me, I know. And I'm not an amazing singer myself. I'm not trying to say that. But I'm going to show you guys how my singing has kind of improved. Don't pay mind to this embarrassing picture of me on the before 8th grade. But I'm going to show you how my singing has improved. So I'll play the first video and then I'll play the now video. So let me just mute myself so you can hear. No one can get in the way of what I feel for you. All right, that's really cringy. I do not like listening to my old self sing, but I'm gonna play the one that I do like. So now we're gonna play the other one. No one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. No one can get in the way of what I feel for you. Okay, you can obviously hear the difference. If you didn't hear it, that's perfectly fine, but I know that I myself improved, which makes me super happy. But yeah, just remember that. Can you repeat that one more time?
I think she's saying that they like both of them.
Oh, awesome.
Super robot. I mean, I think they sounded both, but I get what you're saying. One of them, it sounds like you're like clearer, like you have like your voice is very much more focused now.
Yes, and with the help of vocal exercises, guys, I'm telling you, that's like the holy grail of singing. So if you want to get better, vocal exercises are the way to go. And just remember that it takes time to improve your voice. You can't just wake up one morning and sing like Ariana Grande in the shower or like Bruno Mars. But yeah, you know, just practice makes perfect. So now, Okay, so now let's move on to a tongue twister. I got a little fun singing tongue twister here, so let's see if you can follow along. If you mess up, that's fine because I'll probably stumble across on the words as well. So singers use tongue twisters to make pronouncing the words easier. Did you have a question or good? No? Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure that everyone's question gets answered. Okay, so for this one, this is a pretty tough tongue twister. And basically singers use tongue twisters to help them pronounce the word that they're saying. So imagine if I said this exercise like, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, blah, 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 blah. You can't really hear what I'm saying. So singers use these exercises to help them, like I said, pronounce their words better. So let's see if we can try this. So I'll sing it first, and then you guys, we can sing it together. I'll put the little metronome so you can keep time. So I'll sing it first. 1, 2, ready, go. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, blue, 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 blue. All right, you guys want to try that together?
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, leather. Blue, 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 blue.
You go, girl.
Awesome, Gia. All right, now let's do it one more time. All right.
Can I please try again, please?
Yeah. Can you have your mic muted this time? So, because the timing is like a little messed up on Zoom. So I think that'll make sure that everyone can concentrate on it together. Is that fine?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So I'll count us off this time and we'll try again. So 1, 2, ready, go. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, blue, 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 blue. All right, we'll try it again because it's really fun. 1, 2, ready, go. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, blue, 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 blue. Okay. I don't know what's so crazy about red leather and yellow leather, but I think this is a pretty good exercise. So let's go to the next one. So play the video because Google Slides. All right. So now that we kind of got a gist for what singing is like, and we've done our vocal exercises, we're gonna sing part of an actual song. So my choir did this song, We Shall Overcome, and we sang it for Black History Month. So here we're gonna sing just the first lines and the first lyrics, the we shall overcome, we shall overcome. Then we have our metronome here to keep time, and I'll play the first note that we come on. So I'll go first, and you can just, and we can sing together. So we start on F. Okay, so let me sing it first on the metronome. 1, 2, ready, go. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Did everyone get that? Do you want me to repeat it one more time? Repeat one more time? No. Okay, Gia, thank you for telling me. All right, let's try it together now. So let's start starting now. Okay, so 1, 2, ready, go. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. How do people think they did? Was that a little bit more challenging than the last ones? Yeah? No?
The other thing with the timer of, I don't know, call it, it.
Were you saying that you were having trouble with the timing and keeping like in time?
Because young mutes and I got lost where you are.
Okay. So let's try without the metronome and go a little slower. So we could do this as our tempo. 1, 2, like that. Is that good for everyone? So we go nice and slow. So our starting note again is we. Okay. So I'm gonna count us off and we can see.
That's not the problem. The problem is that Gian mute and I got lost.
Oh, okay. So then you do want to follow with the metronome? Oh wait. Well,
Yeah.
it's okay. We'll do it slow again, and then we'll do it with the metronome, and then so we understand what we're saying and we don't get lost in the music. Okay? So we. Does that make sense, Antonia? Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna count us off and we're gonna come in. So 1, 2, ready, go. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Okay, did nice and slow. We made sure to sing all the words properly, and now let's do it with the metronome. So 1, 2, ready, go. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. All right, how do you guys think you did? Did you feel better that time, Antonia?
That was great.
Awesome. Well, now you guys are professional singers. Well, maybe not professional singers, but you guys can sing music. Maybe you can't read it, and honestly, that's fine, but you can sing. You are a singer. You can sing no matter what anyone says, everyone can sing, minus the 3% that we talked about earlier. But yeah, so, oh, the metronome playing again. So, did you guys like the presentation? There's little faces here. 1 for smiling. Yes, you did like it. You did like it. 2 for, it could have been better. It was okay. Or 3, no, I didn't like it at all. I never want to sing again. I hope you guys don't put 3. I really like singing. But yeah, type in whatever you felt in the chat, and then we could talk if you guys want, if you have any questions.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much, Miss Jasmine. I really appreciate you coming in, and this was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Does
Maya,
anybody?
you have a question?
Yeah.
I've been working on this.
Ooh, I
Wow.
It's
love it.
watermelons.
Yummy. It's watermelon.
My favorite fruit in the summer is strawberries. I really like strawberry banana smoothies. Is watermelon your favorite fruit?
And also the corn and also cherries.
Ooh, I love cherries and blueberries and everything in between.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have a favorite fruit?
Jasmine, how long have you been singing for?
I've been singing, since like middle school, I guess. Just like singing stupid songs with my siblings, or singing in the shower, or singing Just Dance, singing Dance Dance Revolution. I don't know if you guys know that one. That might be a little too old. But yeah, I've just been singing forever, and I really like got better in my singing like at the beginning of my freshman year, and that was really thanks to my choir director. Yeah, Antonia, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm always when I take a shower, like singing and singing, and that's so funny. And one day I was at my aunt's house, and I sing, hoping anybody heard me. And my aunt came, "You sing beautiful." And when I got out of the shower, everybody said the same thing. I was like, "Thank you."
Yes, I feel like you can't go taking a shower without singing. Like taking a shower, it's either like you take a shower and you just think about life, or you take a shower and you just sing songs. But yeah, I hope you guys really liked that. I really enjoyed it, and yeah.
Sing songs in the shower.
Yes. What's your favorite song?
Making up songs.
Yeah,
I like
okay,
to make up
Yeah.
songs.
All right, everyone. Well, wait, Antonia, you have one more thing you want to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I forgot.
Okay. Gia, what are you gonna say?
I have problems with up songs too. When I started singing, my mom says, "Don't take so long."
Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. The thing is that when I go to the bath, my mom said I don't take so long because I have to go to school. But when I start singing, I never want to get out of the bath.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Sean and the Civic League and Jasmine. Thank you so much. This was such a special day. And Miss Jasmine, you are always welcome to join us. That was a wonderful presentation. I loved the rating system at the end. That was so professional. I just want to quickly show you all the flyer for next week. Next month is the beginning of June, so we're going to be celebrating Pride Month. So the book that we're going to be reading is Frog and Toad Are Friends. So we'll be back next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Same day, same time, with a different link. And we'll send out a whole list of information for that.
Is it still going to be History Month or whatever this month was gonna?
It's going to be Pride Month. So we're going to have a whole bunch of fun stories about, celebrating who we are and our identities. So it's going to be a really fun time. And there's going to be also a history component to it as well. So yeah, I hope that thank you all for joining us. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us. Yeah, that's a beautiful watermelon. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to end the meeting now, but thank you so much and wonderful participation. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.